What's up, YouTube? This is your girl Megan from the HoodAstroQ. Welcome back to my channel, to all of my returning subscribers. However, if this is your first time joining me on today, welcome. It is here that we use information from celestial bodies to help us gain a better understanding of our favorite celebrities, world events, but most importantly, our damn selves. So thumbs up this video, share with a friend, and subscribe to become a part of the family. So with that being said, today I want to talk about the medical profile of Libra. Now, Libra is a positive, masculine, and cardinal sign. It represents balance and refinement. So when talking about medical astrology, Libra naturally governs all of the main regulatory functions within the body, such as the lower back, as well as the kidneys. Now, this is very symbolic because the kidneys are responsible for regulating and balancing out the fluids within our body. It's responsible for cleaning our body, cleaning the blood within our body, and so on and so forth, which is very Libra in nature, trying to bring everything back to a level of homeostasis. So as a result, Libra individuals or people with prominent Libra influence can experience afflictions to these parts of the body, as well as the spine and lower back. Bladder infections, urinary tract infections are also very common when we talk about Libra in medical astrology. They could also be very susceptible to renal stones, as well as chronic kidney disease, nephrotic syndrome. Diabetes is another condition that is exclusive to that Libra influence. And this usually comes from Libra and its overindulgence in a diet that could be rich. And that is also influenced by the Venus rulership when we talk about the sign Libra, right? Venus is the planet that does deal with indulgence. And so very similar to Taurus, which is also very much Venus ruled, a lot of times Libras can have issues when it comes to being overindulgent, and this could have negative impacts on one's physical health. They could also have diets that are laden with refined sugars and carbohydrates. Now, of course, there are different types of diabetes, but at least the type that you get, the kind that can be self-induced, Libras could definitely be susceptible to this. Am I saying this is applicable to all Libras? Absolutely not. But there is a common theme amongst a lot of individuals with diabetes. For example, Halle Berry, who has diabetes, and I actually didn't know this, but she has Libra on the 6th house cusp with her Venus conjoined to Mars in the sign of Cancer. And I think her Venus is at the 29th degree. Now, this could indicate problems with food, but it could also be indicative of hormone problems, hormone imbalances. Nick Jonas actually has his Venus in Libra, squaring his 6th house Neptune and Uranus. Specifically with that Neptune, could deal with him having diabetes as well. And with the 6th house and even Neptune dealing with medication to a certain extent, I'm wondering if he has issues with insulin, if he's insulin resistant, or if, there could be some problems with his medication there. I'm not really aware of that. I don't know. So if you do have any information on that in particular, feel free to provide it in the comment section. But, that was something else that I found to be very interesting. Now, when talking about celebrities with kidney conditions, we have Nick Cannon, who reportedly has lupus-induced nephritis. Now, nephritis is a condition where the kidneys become inflamed and can have problems filtering waste from the blood. And he has been very open about this. I think he's been hospitalized quite a few times. And I want to say this is one of the reasons that he used to justify why he was out here making children like hotcakes, because he fears for his mortality because of a lot of these different complications and things like that. However, Nick Cannon is a Libra stellium. Okay, we're talking Libra, Sun, Moon, as well as Saturn and Pluto. And he does have Libra on the 6th house cusp as well. And so I could definitely see him having kidney failure at some point. Of course, that's nothing I would wish on someone, but I mean, it checks out, right, from an astrology perspective. Now, some other conditions that can come with Libra in terms of medical astrology would be pelvic inflammation. Libra rules the pelvis as well as the pelvic floor. So specifically as it pertains to women after childbirth, if you have a lot of Libra energy, you want to make sure you follow up closely with your OBGYN or your gynecologist, because a lot of these women can experience a lot of infection and issues with their pelvic floor area. Pelvic inflammatory disease is very common for a lot of Libra heavy women, okay? Libra also rules the reproductive system, specifically the fallopian tubes and ovaries. And so as a result, these are also areas within the female body that could be prone to affliction. Now, technically I say female because I'm talking traditionally, but in today's standards, right, if you are intersex or whatever the case may be, this could also apply to you as well. Trans men, if you still have your ovaries and things like that intact, that would also apply as well. But ovarian cysts and even ectopic pregnancies, a pregnancy where once the egg is fertilized, instead of implanting in the womb, which would be cancer, it actually stays in the fallopian tube and grows. And then, of course, that's a condition that can be fatal to both the child and even the mother. So, once again, if you are someone, especially if you have a lot of afflicted Libra energy, which is not going to be everyone, obviously, it's more of a case-by-case basis, but in general, it's, once again, highly advised for a lot of my Libra dominant women and women with Libra afflicted energy to work very closely with their caretakers, especially if you are someone who is seeking to have children or, whatever the case may be. Because sometimes these are going to be areas of the body that need a little extra care and attention. Now, Libra could also deal with the inner ear. And so as a result, even people who experience hearing loss can have a lot of Libra placements. Libras tend to lose their hearing and even their balance because, as we all know, your inner ear is also responsible for keeping you balanced, right? That Libra energy balanced and upright. But these are people who can struggle in those areas, or these things could decay as time goes on. So especially when we talk about older Libras, a lot of them do have hearing aids or could have hearing problems. But some cases, there are even Libra dominant individuals or people with afflicted Libra energy who maybe were even born with hearing problems, or even just throughout life can experience problems with hearing. And so some celebrity examples of this would include Bill Clinton, who is the former president of the United States. And he actually has a Libra stellium in his first house, which includes his Venus. And of course, the first house is the physical body. And he does have his Venus conjoined to Chiron. And that could absolutely produce a person with problems with hearing. Another celebrity who is a really good example of this would be Halle Berry. So we got a repeat offender here. She also has hearing issues that she sustained at the hands of an abusive relationship. So when you take another look at Libra on her 6th house cusp, and then consider the fact that her Venus is at that 29th degree of Cancer and it's conjoined to her Mars, that could absolutely deal with her sustaining hearing loss by way of some sort of aggravated assault issue or domestic dispute with that Cancer energy. Head trauma could also be indicated with that 29th degree. So having her 6th house ruler at the 29th degree of Cancer could absolutely co-sign the idea of her maybe being hit in the head a little too hard, or having her eardrums burst, or whatever the case may be. Not to mention that Cancer Mars in a woman's chart could, in many cases, manifest in attracting very abusive men, very violent men. So, I thought that was interesting as well. Now, in some cases, Libra could also rule spatial disorders. And I would say you could take this with a grain of salt, because technically this could even bleed over into the Aries archetype, because a lot of times spatial disorders could be caused by issues within the brain, but it still applies. And yeah, this concludes my video on the medical profile of Libra. You guys be sure to drop down in the comment section. Let me know if you have any experiences with these issues or ailments, or do you know someone who does? And make sure you practice unconditional self-love so that you can love others. And until the next video, I'll holla.